For a while, I wanted to kind of move my shelf around and try out a new setup, so I have moved it. Here is it in its new home, and I decided I would film myself filling it up with books, talk you through my collection. I moved to London back in September, so about 9 months ago, with about 10-15 books, and I have bought so many books that I ended up having to buy the shelf, and I don't know if they're all going to fit because they've all been sitting awkwardly all over the place. So you're going to organise with me. I'm going to talk through my collection. This was inspired by Tabitha over at Tabitha's Tomes, who has a far more substantial library. Her video had over 1,500 books in it. This one, I don't have that many books, but we're going to start at the bottom, which is why I'm lying on the floor. And we're going to move our way up. If I look disgusting in this video, more so than usual, it's because we're currently experiencing a heat wave in London and I am dying, but we're keeping the hat on for the bit. So like the video for that reason. Okay, so we're going to start off with paperbacks on the bottom shelf because I generally think paperbacks are a little bit uglier than hardbacks. And first up, I have a random array of Cosmere books, which I bought from Forbidden Planet because Brandon Sanderson was recently in London. He signed some books. I found them. I bought them. I already own this exact edition of all of these books. I also own other editions of the Stormlight books. I currently own 4 editions of Words of Radiance. Nobody needs that many editions. I haven't told anyone I know in real life that I spent ludicrous amounts of money on Cosmere books that I didn't need, that are copies of editions I already had, and they don't know about this YouTube channel, so they're not going to find out, and no one is allowed to tell them. But we have a really weird selection as well, which is why we're kind of hiding it at the bottom. We have Words of Radiance, which is book 2 in the Stormlight Archives, and I know what you're thinking. Why are you putting that on the left-hand side? Surely Way of Kings should be on the left-hand side. They didn't have a signed copy of Way of Kings. So we have Words of Radiance, we have Oathbringer. This is a bloody abs workout down here. We have Rhythm of War, and then we have 3 of Era 2 Mistborn. Not the first one, but we have 2, 3, and 4. That one I'm going to guess is 2. I don't really know which one's 2 and which one's 3, because I don't have a very good memory. I know that The Lost Metal is 4. Excellent book. Highly recommend checking out Mistborn Era 2 if you haven't already. Sometimes I think it's better than Era 1. Generally, I don't think that, but on occasion, my mind thinks that. And finally, go in. We have Words of Warbreaker. Jesus Christ. Is that focused? I think it's focused. Okay, we also have a random selection of other paperbacks, which I'm hoping are all going to fit beautifully on this shelf, but we'll find out if they do. We're going to start with A Song of Legends Lost, because it's white, and therefore matches with the other books. I got this at MCM Comic Con, signed by the author as well. Doing very well on signed books. I tend not to buy books unless there's a reason to, like it's on sale or signed. Look how beautifully that flows together with the colours. Next, I think I'm going to go Do You Dream of Terror 2, because this is kind of greyish black, kind of fits in with Rhythm of War. Another signed copy. That is a sci-fi book that I need to get to. I don't know what I'm going to go next. Maybe we'll go for Wolfworm by T. Kingfisher. This is a horror novel. It's one of the first physical advanced reader copies I've got, and it says on it, you can see, no you can't see because it's not going to focus. It says March 2026 on it. If I had my eyes.
5 minutes later.
Oh, look at that. I just needed to tap the little screen. This is like one of the only physical advanced reader copies I've ever got, so that's just a cool little fun fact. Did I like the book? No, not really. It creeped me out. This is kind of the book that cemented the fact that horror is not for me, because I love T. Kingfisher, but this book was creepy. There were worms, as you can kind of imagine from the title, but they were in places that worms are not supposed to be, and that's scary and creepy, and it made me very uncomfortable. The Tunnels is an indie book I got from MCM Comic Con that is apparently a little bit like The Hitchhiker's Guide to a Galaxy. about a scavenger hunt that opens up under a highway in the world on Earth, and sounds really cool. So hoping to get to that at some point, but we'll go with that next because it also fits kind of Black Spines. I've made the tactical decision to switch sides at this point so that you can kind of see what's going on. Next up, we have... No, we don't. I lied. We're going to go for a kind of darker blue in the form of Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee. Is that the right way up? Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee. This is a signed copy I got from when I went to see Fonda Lee, signed and personalised. How cool am I? So many signed books. This is going to go next. Yeah. Then we're going to go Shanghai Immortal. This one I also got from MCM Comic Con and is a lighter blue but kind of merges into Jade Legacy, hopefully. The reason for context I just have Jade Legacy is because it's my favourite Greenbone Saga book, and so that's the one I decided to get signed, which is kind of a bit rogue, but I'm also lying on the floor filming myself putting books into a shelf, so life can be rogue sometimes. This is not comfortable. The last book is another one I got from MCM Comic Con called The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke. All I know about this is it has lesbians in it, and it's by the same author who wrote the Ambessa book, which I thought was brilliant, and I love Arcane. It's actually playing on the TV right now in order to... I don't know what it's achieving, to be honest, but I thought it would be cool. Fucking hell. Hello. Oh, the blood is rushing to my head. The paperbacks, you can see, fit perfectly now on the bottom shelf. So that's very good luck. Unfortunately, if I buy any more paperbacks, we have a problem, but thankfully I won't buy more books because I have self-control. My glasses are falling off. Okay, we're going to move on to shelf number 2 now, which is fantastic news for my body because it means I don't need to contort myself into weird shapes in order to fit into the frame. Okay, so we're starting off this new shelf with some bad news, which is that I found another paperback. This is Never Die by Rob J. Hayes. Don't know a lot about this. It's received a lot of hype. It's indie published. It's also paperback, but it's the wrong height to fit with the other paperbacks. So it's going to go on this next second shelf along with a bunch of hardcovers. Yeah. Gorgeous cover though, by the way. Fantastic cover. Okay. I've noticed I have a load more paperbacks, so everything's gone to shit. They will appear soon, but we're just going to kind of stick with uglier books, which doesn't really mean ugly books. It's just books that are maybe less special. They're not special editions, etc. We have Mortadin's Peril by R.J. Barker, which is another book I got at MC Comic Con signed and haven't read it yet. It looks interesting, so I'll pick it up at some point and that can go next. 12 Months by Jim Butcher. I don't have any of the other Dresden books in hardback, and the paperbacks are not here in London. So this is just going to sit there and look pretty, and it's also the wrong size, which is fun. It is also shorter than the paperback, which is going to bug me. Thankfully, it's low down enough. No one's gonna notice. No one looks this far down on the shelf, and it will be cut out of the frame for videos anyway. So who cares? There's an annoying glare on the TV. Oh shit! I'm gonna break it. Don't know how to fix that. If anyone knows how to fix that, tell me. Okay, we have some more miscellaneous hardbacks now. Blech. Empire of the Damned. This is book 2 in the Empire of the Vampire series. Don't have any of the others. This was on sale and signed, so I bought it. I then read book 1, having purchased this, and it wasn't that good. So I'm probably not going to read this. But maybe I'll just sell it online. I don't know. I don't really sell books because I'm a hoarder. Let's put it on the shelf and not think too hard about that. Next, we have a few books I was sent by Aethon Publishers. For those wondering why someone with such a tiny channel has been sent so many books, it's not for this channel. It's for my TikTok, which is unrelated to this and anonymous and has 40,000 followers. Because, you know, I'm kind of famous. You said it, not me. Runeseeker, which gorgeous cover, book was not that good. I'll be honest with you, didn't really vibe with the book, but the cover is pretty, so. Split Second, which I have not got around to quite yet, but has a really interesting concept around being able to send things back in time by a second, which is not very long, but when you actually think about it, there's quite a lot you can do with that, and so I'm interested to see what happens in this book. It's super short, so I will hopefully get around to it at some point, but the TBR is so long, and it's not really a priority right now. That can go on the shelf next. We're kind of vibing in terms of kind of having darker colours. Empire of the Vampire, and by Empire of the Vampire I mean Empire of the Damned, ruins it a little bit with the white, but it's not too ugly. The newly published, rather than self-published, He Who Fights with Monsters books is next. I read the audiobook before the publishing deal was announced. This is chonky. It's chonky, but it flew by in audio. Highly, highly recommend this series if you're a fan of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Similar vibe, but in my opinion, I was going to say in my opinion better, but I don't actually think it's better than Dungeon Crawler Carl, but it's almost as good. So, worth checking out. That can go next. I've changed my mind. I'm going to do a shuffle. Watch the tactical shuffle and then what happens next, and you'll understand. I'm thinking in incredible ways.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. OMW.
That was way better in my head before I actually did it. And it just looks okay. But it's done, so whatever. Okay, next we're going in with some more red, which is the reason for the shuffle is I wanted these books, which I think are really good looking, a little bit further into the room rather than right in the corner when they're going to be hidden a little bit more. Death of the Author, one of my favourite books. Nnedi Okorafor. It's going to match beautifully with the red. Hopefully I can put it in cover out and it's going to fit. This is a fantastic near future sci-fi about a black disabled writer who cannot catch a break and suddenly does. Also signed, by the way, not to flex, but I'm pretty cool. Next, we have Nnedi Okorafor's YA trilogy, which starts with Acta Witch. This is a fantastic YA trilogy, one of the best places to start with Nnedi's works if you like YA. And it's about an albino who is Nigerian American who moves from New York, where she's lived her whole life, to Nigeria and struggles to fit in. She didn't feel like she fit in New York. She doesn't feel like she fit in Nigeria either. And there's fantastic magic. This follows Nnedi Okorafor's genre that she created, essentially, which is called African futurism. Definitely go and read into that as a genre if you're interested. It's very, very interesting. And I will be making soonish a video all about different fantasy subgenres, and you can also watch that to find out what African futurism is in more detail. But I feel this is going to be quite a long video, so I'm not going to delve into different subgenres in it. I was hoping I'd fit To Shape a Dragon's Breath in next by Monocle Black Goose, who is a Native American author, and this is the most interesting exploration of colonization as a theme in any book I've ever read, about a dragon riding school and a girl from a colonized island who is forced to go to the colonizer-run dragon riding school and fit into their ways of doing things. Don't know where I'm going to put this yet, because I was hoping it would kind of fit in with all the red down here, and having one spare paperback is going to be quite annoying. But this is a fantastic YA book, so go and read it, even if it doesn't fit easily onto my shelf. Maybe it can go down and sit on top here for now. That looks ugly, but you can't see it on the camera, so it doesn't matter. Be cool, camera, be cool. Okay, don't really have a plan, but next we have Murderbot. These are the Broken Binding editions. I've recently started watching the Apple TV adaptation of this series. It's about a suicidal bot who has hacked their governor module and essentially taken control where they shouldn't have control of themselves, and they should be forced to follow orders. They no longer are. They fall in love with a really shit TV show and go a little bit off the rails, but in a funny way and not a scary way necessarily. Murderbot is very much an ironic nickname they give themselves. I can't decide whether I want to go... Wow, that is brilliant displaying ability. I can't decide whether I want to go sprayed edges out for this, because they are really nice sprayed edges, but you can't even tell what the book is. And I just feel like people who go sprayed edges out are kind of dicks. Not to insult anyone who goes sprayed edges out, but I don't know if I can be that person, especially for a series. Inevitably, I think some of these sprayed edges are going to go out, so I'm going to be that person, aren't I? Do I start now? I think I do. I think I start being a dick now. Let's go sprayed edges out, because those are gorgeous sprayed edges. And the spines are okay, but sprayed edges out. I don't know how I feel about sprayed edges out on the edge. I feel like maybe it should be in the middle. But they're also shorter than the other books. They need to be at one side or the other, in my opinion. You can't go like that, can you? You gotta go. Or... yeah. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm actually thinking we may go for a spree of sprayed edges out, because I have here Kings of the Wild and the sequel... whoa! The Bloody Rose, and this is part of a duology that is supposed to eventually be a trilogy called The Band. They do kind of stand alone, but they're essentially about a group of adventurers doing shit. The kind of premise of the first one is, let's get the band back together, and it's a bunch of retired dads going adventuring. They used to be adventurers. They're now very out of shape. It's quite funny, pretty fun and enjoyable. So... yeah. It does piss me off that the lines don't, like, match up. I don't even know if it's even that obvious on camera, but it's very obvious in person, and I'm very perfectionist, so it slightly bugs me, but we're dealing with it. Okay, we're gonna kind of finish off the sprayed edges with a couple more books. First, All That We See or Seem by Ken Liu, the first Julia Z novel. Ken Liu is one of my favourite authors of all time. I adore the Dandelion Dynasty. This is not on the same level, but it's kind of a fun, near-future sci-fi with a really good commentary on AI that I think is worth checking out, but don't expect it to be as good as the Dandelion Dynasty if you've not read the Dandelion Dynasty. No, if you have read the Dandelion Dynasty, and if you've not read the Dandelion Dynasty, go and read the fucking Dandelion Dynasty, because it's the best thing ever. Some Desperate Glory. This is our last sprayed edge out, because that cover is not very nice, and Pretty Galaxy, fantastic queer sci-fi novel. Go and read this. Emily Tesh is such a fantastic author. This won a Hugo, but it's still not being talked about that much online, so I'm talking about it online. Pick it up. Arcane has crashed. If you've noticed this TV show has been still for a while, it's because it crashed. I can't be bothered to set it up again. You're seeing like a fraction of it anyway, and it might get a copyright strike. I don't really know how all of that works. We have a few more blue books to finish off the rest of the shelf, and I don't know if they're all going to fit. The first two Hierarchy books are up first, and I should probably flip over book 2, The Strength of the Few. But I also think this cover is really pretty, and the other side is quite ugly. I know that's an unpopular opinion somehow, but I think everyone else is delusional. This is kind of similar to Red Rising, but fantasy. You probably heard of it. I don't need to go into it, really, do I? No. It has been terribly re-sleeved by me. Very cool of the publisher to make that a thing that you can do. One of the only times publishers have been sensible about anything. So big ups to, I think it's Text Publishing. Text Publishing. Well done.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW.
Having just done that whole big complimentary thing, I've realised this one and this one are different textures. And this one's like nice, and this one is not nice. And I will... basically, it's not as good as I thought, but it's better than nothing. We have The Last Contract of Isako, which I also got signed. My TV is now turned off. Fucking hell. Also got signed by... Oh, it's gonna flash. Fuck you. This is... I would describe it as a post-space opera. They are a good way into terraforming a planet, and it has a lot of corporate politics in it, and you really see Fondalee's background as a management consultant kind of shining through. It's not massively dissimilar in some ways to Greenbone Saga, except A, worse, B, a standalone, C, in space. It's a decent book, it's a good book, but it's not exceptional. And last but certainly not least, we have two different deluxe specialty editions of Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. Don't get me started talking about this book because I love this book so much. Toxic lesbian vampires. How many times do I have to say it? There is no plot, but the characters are morally great. So good. My leg hurts from hitting it. That's how good this book is. Do I need 2 deluxe editions? No, but they were pretty and I liked the book, so I got them. I'm tempted to move them more into the middle just because I really love those books and I don't want them hiding away in the corner. I feel like Gollum like squatting in the corner next to my bookshelves right now. I'm gonna move them.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. OMW.
Okay, that is shelf number 3 complete. I also moved over The Last Contract of Isako just because I felt like the colours flowed a little bit nicer. My camera is flashing at me with overheating concern, which isn't great. I'm going to Egypt with this camera. It's not going to survive. It's not. It's in November though, so maybe it'll be fine. On to shelf number 2, and we're going to do it quickly before my camera fucking explodes. So, the camera has cooled down. I have not. I've also, in the brief intermission, had a little look at what books I have left, and while they're all very pretty individually or sentimental, etc., they're gonna look really bad together, but I'm just gonna put them on the shelf and we're gonna deal with it, and they may have moved around by the time you see the next video that I make, if you watch another video after this shit show. Okay, first up we have the evol, as in short for evolution, algorithm. I'm not actually sure how this is still here, other than it's vaguely pretty. Haven't really heard anything about this. I just saw it in a bookstore and it was really quite pretty, and it has internal illustrations and end papers. As well. So I bought it because it was pretty. And the back says, "This is not a dystopia, it's a utopia in the making," which intrigued me. It has about 50 Goodreads ratings, so the hopes are not that high, but it's thin and it's pretty and it wasn't that expensive, so we're just going to pop it. We're going to pop it on the shelf. It is pretty though, isn't it? Isn't it a pretty book? It's not going to go on that side, it's going to go on this side. Okay, next up, we're going to go sprayed edges out again with this special edition of The Poet Empress because, I mean, look at the sprayed edge, and also the colour matches up with the evil algorithm, so that's happening. Then we're going to go spine out with my standard UK edition of The Poet Empress. This, by the way, is a fantastic read that flips romantasy on its head. It's dark, it's unique, brilliant Asian-inspired fantasy by a debut author who has clearly mastered her craft before even releasing her debut. The publishers were fighting over this one, and I can see why. Great book. Okay, we have my Folio Society edition of The Martian next, which is not that pretty externally. It's just like really nice. I mean, the cover is pretty. The spine is ugly. But it's not, the cover isn't pretty enough to go cover out. So it's just going to have to be an ugly-ish spine, but I know it's a nice Folio Society edition, so whatever. They sent this to me for free as well. I'm just flexing in this video because I can. Because I can. Yeah, because I can. You're supposed to be like a really bubbly, happy personality that's quite likable on YouTube, and I'm just a bit of a dick, but I think that's just who I am. Yeah. It comes with this rather nice slipcase too, with the little window through. Why the fuck is it taller than a standard hardback though? Look at that. Why is it too tall? Fuck. Dungeon Crawler Connex looks like the standard hardback, but it's signed and personalized by Matt Dinneman because I'm epically cool. Haha. So, I mean, that's going to clash, isn't it? Let's be real. This is going to be an ugly shelf. We're going to deal with it later. We're moving the Martian to the side because it's too tall to be in the middle. It looks stupid. Can you see? Let me zoom in underneath my armpit. Oh fuck, I zoomed in too far. Oh god, I'm good at this. There you go. It's too tall. It's too tall. I feel like people watch these videos because they want like a chill bookshelf reorganizing, and this is just me being slightly manic in the heat. So we have 6 books left, and here they are, to cover the rest of this shelf. So actually, I've done not a bad job of not buying way too many books, because I'm going to have to go cover out, I think, to fit everything in. And I think I'm going to go ASAP cover out. That's Assassin's Apprentice. I shortened them to AS. Royal Ass, ASAP, Ass Quest. Because ass is a funny word. There's no other reason. And also the fantastic Between Earth and Sky series by Rebecca Roanhorse, which starts off with Black Sun. I've been trying to get people to read this for ages because it has the most unique magic system I've ever read, inspired by Central American mythology, various Central American and South American mythologies. And it includes mermaids, it has people riding on the back of giant crows. It's a fantastic trilogy, incredible world building, brilliant characters, highly recommend. And then, you know Robin Hobb, don't you? You know Robin Hobb. Why am I low on battery on my camera? I can't do this.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. OMW.
Okay, The Martian is gone because it didn't fit. It's on the top shelf. You'll see it in a bit. But complete second shelf or fourth shelf, depending on how we're counting it. I think it looks gorgeous, and I got to get this cover out, which, I mean, this is a stunning cover in my opinion. Gorgeous. Let me... Beautiful cover. The top shelf is basically me showing off my poor financial decisions. You're kind of seeing it from a bit below because my tripod is at maximum height. You're just going to have to deal with it. I'm too tall. I'm too tall. I'm actually 5'7" for the Americans and 170 for everyone else. So I'm not too tall. I promise. I'm a tiny man.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what?
So we have Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, leatherbounds, signed. They were very expensive and postage was very expensive, but Stormlight is one of my favorite series. Other than the Dandelions Dynasty, it's probably my favorite series of all time, and it was one that really launched my love of fantasy reading. So, you know, I spent too much money on it. Sue me. Sue me. You can't. I don't have any money left. I spent them all on leatherbounds. And then we have various signed secret projects I picked up while Sanderson was in London. Tress of the Emerald Sea. Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, which is my favourite fantasy standalone of all time. And Isles of the Emberdark, which was pretty great. I love Tress and Yumi a little bit more, but signed secret projects, I was going to buy them.
OMW, on my way to you. Good at what I do. I'm OMW. OMW.
Okay, so my camera did die, but we are back. Complete shelf, The Martian with the little booklight on top. We have Tress of the Emerald Sea, Yumi, Isles of the Emberdark, and the Stormlight Archive leatherbounds. And hopefully this will make a nice background for future videos. I'm probably going to sit a bit forwards with the TV in the background, and I haven't planned to pan the camera, but I have a little wall of grassy planty stuff that may be fun. So we'll see. We'll mess around with the setup. I'm going to give you a little brief overview of what the shelf looks like with some cool B-roll stuff that I don't know how to do yet, but we'll work it out. So starting from the bottom, we have the paperbacks. I just left To Shape a Dragon's Breath there for now with random Cosmere books and just a random selection of paperbacks, essentially. Then my mostly hardback shelf with my little Nedi Okorafor shrine in the corner. Then we move on to the sprayed edges shelf with the gorgeous blues. Next, we have, second from the top shelf, I do think Dungeon Call sticks out a little bit too much on this one, so it's probably going to have to go and get replaced with my next purchase. And then the top shelf, which I just talked through. Hopefully this wasn't too insane a video. I felt insane, but I feel as though I always feel insane, and then I watch it back and I'm like, I just seem like a normal person. So whatever, no one cares. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, leave me a dislike and a hate comment. Bye.